This is the beginning of the week, Sunday. I hope everyone had a great Sunday fun day, whether you were out with your family, friends, eating brunch, or you went to church or whatever, stayed at home, watched the game, whatever you did. I hope you had a good time. This is going to be a really short live. I hope that if someone comes in, that you guys will press the like button. If you could press the screen 2 times, I would truly appreciate it. Again, this is not gonna be a long live, but I hope everybody had a good weekend. But I'm just gonna talk a little bit about how a lot of people, for some apparent reason, come on social media platforms and share their vulnerabilities, share their personal business on the internet. And I'm going to say this is the most dangerous place to share your vulnerabilities. I think you have to be extremely um, cautious and use a lot of common sense. Hey, Red Velvet, how are you? When you are sharing your vulnerabilities and the things that you're going through. And a lot of times people overshare their business. And this is not the platform. You know how in real life you have some people that you're not going to share certain things to because they can't hold water. You tell them one thing, honey, they will go tell five people before you even finish with the whole sentence of everything you was trying to say. They going and telling your granny, your cousins, your auntie, your mama, your daddy, your grandparents. They just talking. And some people don't do it intentionally, but some people do. And a lot of times when you overshare, you're opening yourself up to sometimes negative energy. Hey, Miss Chicago, negative people, people that don't mean you any well, people that at the end will laugh at you as you're spewing your heart out, you're crying and you're telling all your business and you're not knowing the hearts and intentions of people. And I'm really, hey, CC, especially with social media platform where you don't know a lot of people, and even if you did, you still have to be extremely careful. As I have really kind of grew up just a little bit, just a little bit, I'm learning to enjoy being a loner. Before I felt like it was something wrong with me because I said I shouldn't enjoy being alone so much sometimes. But I think that that's just the way that God made me. I'm a kind of person, I enjoy my own company. And when I do choose to have people around me, it's because I carefully selected them because before I wasn't paying attention and I made a lot of mistakes because I wasn't paying attention. And sometimes when you don't pay attention and you overshare your vulnerability, sometimes you could be sharing it with the devil. And that's why I say now, as a grown woman maturing, I've learned now to not overshare, even with people that I love, even people that I have, trust to an extent. There's still times that I don't overshare. If you talk to my family now, even, excuse me, friends or my significant other, they will always tell you that Selena is a private person and I take my time and observe before I really just pull down that guard, that wall, because I have to see if you are a person that I can trust my heart to. And a lot of hate cutting edge, and a lot of times we are so hungry for love or attention or acceptance that we forget that it when we put ourselves out there like that, open and naked, we are going to sometimes attract the wrong people. And you got to be careful and pay attention to your circle. Pay attention to those who smile in your face and act like, oh, I love you, sis. I love you, bro. Because you really just don't know. People have intentions and some people don't. But that's why you take your time, you get to know people. But when you on social media, you should never be so frivolous with your time, with your energy. You should never be so foolish to think that most people on here care about anything that you're going through. And I see a lot of times people hit platforms and they're telling all of their business, and you think that these people really care. Most of the time, people are just laughing at you, and they will take your information and they will turn it against you as if you are the problem and that you are the culprit in the situation. So you have to be extremely careful and wise and pay attention and don't be so vulnerable. And how you do that is you need to go get some help. And sometimes it may take some people because they want to come online and share their grievances and share their vulnerabilities, tell what they're going through in their personal life, who they sleeping with, who they not sleeping with. And to be thank you so much, Cutting Edge. And to be honest with you, that's nobody business but you and the good Lord. I really think that a lot of times we gotta be extremely cautious. I'm talking about because these are times where people are just evil for no reason. I mean, you don't have to do nothing for people to turn things against you, to lie on you, or to use your pain and laugh at it right in your face. So these are the times where people really need to be paying attention. And social media is not for you to iron out your grievances, not to iron out your problems that you got going on at home, to tell people all your business on your mental state and stuff like that, because people on here are most of the time they're trolls, and even if they're not trolls, some of them are mean spirited and they're going to use it against you. So that is why I said that you need to go get some help. Find someone that is licensed in psychology, or someone that is a counselor, that you can actually pour your heart out to. Hey, Mike. Hey, Genesis. That you can Happy New Year to everybody. That you can actually pour out your certain issues, and that can help you to work through them. For some people that can't afford that, maybe for those who have a good pastor that's not trying to sleep with them and scam them, maybe that's somebody you can talk to, or someone that is a older person that is mature, that is not a person going around spreading people business, that can help you and pray with you or whatever. But you need to find a safe person. Hey, Nature Over Everything. Hey, Taryn. I'm good. Uh, yeah, seek professional help and stop coming up on panels and telling hey, Miss V, telling all your business. There's certain things you don't ever hear me sharing. Why? Because I know it could be used. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And people just, for the life of me, I don't understand how they don't understand it. There's just certain things you're just not going to say. I've had people that tried to ask me personal questions on a panel, and guess what? I dodged them just like if I was playing dodgeball. I will dodge a question. I'm an escape artist. I can escape any question that I feel uncomfortable with, or I feel like it's no one's business, and I do it pretty well. That is a special art that a lot of people need to learn how to dodge certain questions, or just say I do not want to answer that, and that's personal, and I even say that. So a lot of the times we sit up here and we get on these panels and telling people you telling our business, telling other people business. That is nobody else's concern, and that is just really inappropriate. It's really just stupid, and at the end of the day, people are going to use it against you. And then some people look so weird. They say they don't care. They don't care that they put their business out there for everybody in the whole wide world to hear. And then when things get hot in the kitchen, hey, they want to cry and complain. Why are people talking about me? Well, you put it out there. So these are the lessons that we have to learn. Thank you so much, Miss V. These are the lessons that we have to learn not to put ourselves in a vulnerable situation, especially when you get older. Hey, Ryan, you should understand that there's not a lot of there's not everyone is not a good person. Okay. And we say we understand it, but for some reason we get dumb in certain areas. I think I remember telling you guys when I first came on this internet. It was around the COVID time, and usually I am a loner, and the people that I have around me is because I chose them. But for some reason, when I got on social media, it was a different beast, and I just was. I'm talking about real dumb on here. I mean, I guess I didn't take the same rules that I took, and that I actually um, you know I guess learned in real life. I just didn't take it on to social media. And I didn't think anybody was really a threat, to be honest with you. And I thought that was just now that I go back on it, I just thought that was so stupid. But I'm not gonna beat up on myself because I realize that when you go through things, it's not for you to beat yourself up. It's for you to learn from the situation. Yes, I made some lot of stupid decisions and dealt with a lot of people I probably had no business, more than likely. I know I didn't have any business dealing with. But because at the time I was bored and I didn't really pay attention that loneliness was creeping up on me, I made some decisions and involved myself with people that I would never have involved myself with in the first place. But it's something that happened around that time when that situation, when the pandemic happened, that really messed up a lot of people psychologically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like it just messed up a lot of people. And our social skills were like it's kind of like they were brought to a halt or something. And we had to kind of learn how to adjust to the new normal. So a lot of our um I would say communication skills and social skills, we just got lost. We didn't know what to do, some of us. And instead of us honing in on something that was more positive and more productive, we got on online and we start engaging and start doing stuff that really we wouldn't have done before then. But because we are isolated, we can't go places and really do like we used to do before. We found the social media platforms and they really became a playground for a lot of demonic activities because a lot of people really be on demon time on social media. And sometimes when you talk to people behind the scenes, hey Taryn, you really kind of lose yourself in reality. You lose reality, a sense of reality, and you start oversharing and sharing some of your vulnerabilities with the wrong type of people that will use it against you. And if you don't have anyone there that could actually tell you, hey, you might not want to do this, you might not want to say that, you'll have to make a lot of mistakes. And then once you make those mistakes, then you hopefully you'll learn from them and you won't be stupid the next time. But sometimes we find ourselves in a pattern of being stupid. And so once you get out of that cycle, the things that you learn, you take those lessons and you learn from 'em. You don't keep making the same mistake over and over again. Okay, two times grace. The third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh time. Now you just really you on the slow bus. So you're gonna have to figure out how do I keep getting myself in situations? And a lot of the times we trust the wrong people, we overshare to the wrong people, we are too vulnerable and share our vulnerabilities with the wrong people. We air out our things that we're going through in life on a public platform where 1,000 people can hear, and some people will twist and turn it against you. So you are in a situation on social media. If you're not careful, you're going to put yourself in more drama, because oversharing is not caring for yourself. Oversharing is not caring. You're not caring for yourself because you're going to put yourself in situations with the wrong people. You're going to put yourself in more drama and drama and drama and drama. Hey, survival, how are you? So we have to really pay attention to what we're doing and be very I would say be in have some insight, have some self-awareness, and just as Miss Harris would always tell me, an older lady, just stop being stupid. And if you are stupid a couple of times, dust yourself and try again, like Aaliyah. Just don't keep doing the same stuff over and over. Start making hey boss man, start making some decisions, um and on the things that you've learned. You say they aren't evaluating their actions, of course, and that's what I had to do. What was this, Jay? I had to start evaluating my choices. I start having to avoid, kind of looking at my actions and seeing, well, what am I doing that's causing A, B, and C? Because see, I can't always blame other people. I have to kind of look at myself sometimes. So when people want to say I don't take accountability and I don't have any self awareness in the things that I do and say, you a lie. Because I look at myself before I would look at anybody else. I will tell you about an incident on last week. Well, it was a situation I didn't like because I'm like, hey, my content is not on this drama. That was 2 years ago, whatever the situation was. So, me, I'm feeling away. But I had a friend to bring something to my attention. My friend told me, she said, Selena, you have to realize, even though it's stupid what people do and it's stuff that they do don't make sense, you are responsible for how you react. Instead of you reacting in anger, have you ever thought about reacting in a way that is totally different that they wouldn't expect? How about laughing about a situation instead of being mad? See, I go to anger because I'm sick and tired of people just, go on about your business and move around. That's what I'm thinking. But I had to evaluate, what was I why did I let that make me angry so much? Couldn't I have responded in a different way that would have probably ended up in a different result? The question is yes, but at the time I didn't care. I felt the way I felt and I wanted people to leave me the hell alone. But then when I thought about what she said, I said, you know what? It do make sense. I said, I sometimes I let a lot of stuff go because when you're on here, you don't know these people. And so it's kind of like, whatever these folks say, it's like water off a duck's back. But at times it just kind of like, okay, damn, like move on, move around, leave me alone, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I'm still responsible for me. And I'm still responsible for how I choose to react. So have I not have I always reacted in the right way? Absolutely not. I can be the first to say that. Have I put 100 on 10? Absolutely. Because some things that I kind of got irritated about, I had to change. I have to learn to change my reaction from irritation to actually make it funny, have a sense of humor about things. But that comes with time, sometimes, and maturity. And I'm not afraid to say that sometimes I'm not mature. I can be the first to say, so I don't need anybody to critique me on how I should do or what I'm missing. I know who I am and I know my flaws, I know my shortcomings and everything like that. So I always tell people, you get the mirror and look at yourself. Don't worry about me. Worry about you and get that mirror and look at all your shortcomings, look at all your insecurities, look at all your flaws, and focus on how you can move forward instead of watching me and trying to pick out what you think my insecurities are or what you think my problems are. So I always look at me first, but I will say that I learned a valuable lesson on what my friend was telling me on last week. So I appreciate her for giving me that insight. So that just goes to show you we all have to get to a point to where we kind of just grow up and stop blaming other people, even though some people are irritating. We do have to realize that we can never let anybody see us sweat. That was something that I remembered. I always talk to a lot of older people that have wisdom. These new age older people are different now, so I don't listen to too much they say because most of them are I would say probably more immature than I ever can be. But I used to talk to a lot of older people, and I have a lot of older people still in my family, and they always give me wisdom and wise advice on how to look at things a little bit differently. And then I have friends to hold me accountable, and not just tell me what I want to hear. But there was something that I learned. But back to what I was saying is you cannot share your vulnerabilities on here. Can't share your business. If you do, it will and it can be used against you, and you're going to not you can't blame anybody but yourself. And this is why I'm telling you now, because I understand that a lot of people now in this day and age are coming on social media pouring their heart out to people that really don't give a darn about you. 99% of people could care less about what you're going through, and I'm sorry to say that, but that it really, people just don't care. There's probably 1% of people that have empathy and sympathy for what you're going through. And if they can help you, they'll try to help you. But most of the time, people don't care anything about what you're going through. So why come on any social media platform crying and pouring your heart out and your vulnerabilities to people that do not care? Please, people, spare yourself this year in 2026. Spare yourself. You will only hear me share something that will be just a little personal if it has something to do with how maybe I can help somebody or relate to someone else because they may be going through something similar to what I've gone through or am currently going through. But you will never hear me share my heart with anyone on here for other people to hear and see. And another thing also, and I've talked to you guys before about this, even when you're dealing with people in also in social media, either they're content creators, someone that does some type of content, you also have to be very careful about the things that you share, your vulnerabilities, the things that you're going through. Because when and if Mad Day happens, and it will happen, you will see who has some sense and who's just evil and petty and vindictive. You will see once Mad Day happens and how quickly they will turn it against you. So you even have to be very careful about the people that if you connect with people on social media, if they are content creators or people that share some type of content, make sure you know what you're doing and who you're talking to, and whatever you're saying, make sure you can be able to repeat it. So that is the advice that I would give myself, as well as other people that are on social media that don't have nobody to talk to. And this is the thing also, even though it's hard to have good friends out here, I would suggest that you get friends outside of a social media platform. If you do gain friendship on a social media platform, and they're good friends. That's a rarity, right? Because genuine people are a rarity in this day and time. But if I if I could help someone, I would tell them, get some type of social life in your real life, whether it's a significant other, whether it's just a friend, whether it is a family member, some I can go out and hang out with all my cousins and have a great time. So I don't really need any girlfriends, even though I do have some. I don't even need them because I'm full. But if those people, there's some people that don't have those type of connections. Try to have a social life. Do a hobby where you can meet other people outside of social media. It is so imperative for people to have a balanced life. You cannot just sit up here on social media platforms and think you're going to gain good and true friends all the time and sharing your business. Have a social life outside of a social media platform with people, and you get to know people. Some people, you it's only a season, but some people you can actually have a I would say a lifetime friendship with them. So I would always suggest people find some social media, not find, no, I'm sorry, find a social hobby where you can be social with other people and not on social media. So the first thing I said was to go talk to someone professionally. So you need one person that you can trust, you can talk to, whether it's a counselor, a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist, fine, or pastor. Like I said, they ain't trying to sleep with you or scam you, or some, whatever religious community you are a part of that you can trust someone. You don't have to worry about your business being spread. Somebody, the worst thing also is to deal with people that can't hold water. Once you find out that they can't hold water and they go around, they telling you other people business, don't tell them nothing. Because as soon as they tell you other people business, guess what? They gonna tell your business once you tell it. So that's another thing you have to be careful about. I would say have talk to someone that you can trust and you can talk to. And the second thing is to have a social life. Find you some friends outside of a social media platform, and just get out of your comfort zone. It's sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like being around a lot of people because they drain me. I think I'm more of an introvert. I'll share this. I'm more of an introvert than am a extrovert, even though I can be both, depending on the situation and who I'm with. But I do prefer to be to myself because people energies do drain me. They're different people's energies, and it could be good, but I just don't like being around lots of people. Even though I do it from time to time because maybe I'm going to a concert, maybe I'm going to a celebration, birthday celebration, or any type of celebration, and I have to be around people. But I know how to be act accordingly. But the thing is, I've never been one of those people also that like to be on social media all the time. And when I got on here, like I said, in around that time with the pandemic, I was on here a lot more. And that is where I messed up. So I think that where I messed up is I needed to have more of a balanced life. And at that time, we felt like, of course, we didn't have a choice because, we couldn't see people, we couldn't hang out, we couldn't go places a lot. So that was the excuse. But then after that, it's still like I stayed on social media a little bit more than I should have. So all I'm saying is be careful about who you tell your business to. Don't overshare with people. Don't share your vulnerabilities with people. Be very cautious about people. If you do decide to share your vulnerabilities, make sure it's people that you actually can trust. Now, as I said before, putting out your business, making letting everybody know what's going on in your life, that is the wrong move. But if you are a person that don't care about your personal life, that don't care about your business, keep doing what you're doing. But if you do and you don't like drama and you don't like people all up in your Kool-Aid, make sure you guard your privacy. Guard your hey riders, guard your life. don't don't be so easily um don't be so easily I would say naive, be having some naivety to think that people actually care about you. Some people do, but that's few and far in between. Even some family members won't care about you. So, like I said, those people are few and far in between. So just be careful about who you share your personal life with. Writers, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but if someone can, I wish I would like writers or somebody that I know to hit my link because, like I said, we have a lot of people that are still on demon time that want to show their little peen. I don't have time for that. But if you can see if you can join that link and see if I can have you to come up. You said, what is this real thief? My favorite fried chicken eater. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna block you because I know this is a racist comment and I'm pretty sure that you are white or another persuasion. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you eat fried chicken as well. And fried chicken is very good, but that's not my favorite. Sorry. So I just reported you and I'm going to remove that. So thank you for coming through and being a jackass. I appreciate it. So anyway, I don't know who else is in here. Hi, Hemi. Oh, it's a Hemi McFly. How are you? Hope I spoke to everybody. But I really appreciate you guys for getting coming through and just sharing with me. Well, coming in here and listening to this live stream. Like I said, you just have to be careful about who you overshare your business to. Even though I didn't share a lot of my business, the little business that I did share, I regret it because again, when you share it to the wrong people, it will come back to bite you. Hey, Alan, it will come back to bite you in the butt. You know what I'm saying? So you really are setting yourself up for drama. You're setting yourself up for um just a lot of unnecessary things that come in your life when you overshare with people. Hey, Tanya. Tanya, I don't know if you're still here. If you can hit that link and see if you can get through. It's on my community wall. So I just want to see if this link works. So, like I said, and I got this message was actually inspired by my homegirl, Miss Kiki. And I shared her channel before on here, but she talked to I think it was today or the other day talking about social media is not a place where you iron out your business and and she wasn't lying. You know, I'm pretty sure you can talk to a lot of content creators or people that are just plain subscribers, and maybe they were a subscriber and they shared their business with a content creator, and when Mad Day happened or they fell out, then those people will use it against you and have everybody looking at you like you crazy, even when you were down for them and you were trying to just be cool. You weren't trying to do anything malicious or undercut or doing any weird diabolical stuff like maybe they would do. See, a lot of times people think you always doing something because they would do that. A lot of times it's just a lot of projection and deflection off of them. But see, they think you're gonna do or be who they are, and when your attentions is not that at all, your attentions could be maybe something totally different. Hey, I said what I said. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Um, your attentions could be totally different, but you'll have some people. especially content creators, especially in social media, people become very paranoid, and I had to kind of catch myself too, because I was kind of getting paranoid a little bit too. And I'm like, I don't know what you like. People could just be coming to say hi. You be like, why are you saying hi to me? That kind of stuff. You just getting kind of freaked out by people because you don't know what people coming from. You met so many bad people or people that just ain't ish. You start to think that everybody has an agenda. A lot of people do, but not everybody. So that is, hey Reggie, hey Juicy, nice to see you. So not everybody has an agenda. Some people are really just they like your content, they like your vibe, they like something about your spirit, they think you're beautiful, they think that you're talented or whatever. But there are some people, they want something from you. And a lot of times it's to turn it against you. So that's why I said you're not gonna see me coming on here telling everybody about what I got going on in my private life and who I'm dating and what we did and what happened in my family. No, you're not going to hear me do that because I know where I am and I'll never be a fool again. Fool once, what they said, fool me once, uh, shame on you, I guess. Fooled me twice, shame on me. And as George Bush said, the third time, well, it just ain't gonna be a third. It's not gonna be a third time. So I would just say you gotta you gotta learn from your mistakes. You gotta learn. Hey SBK, how are you? Happy New Year. You have to learn from your mistakes. You have to learn that even though a lot of some people are not out to get you, there is a lot of people that will be. And so yeah, I like that saying because he didn't know what the hell he was saying, but it was kind of funny when he said that. George Bush, when he said that, that was so hilarious to me. But yeah, I just really learned a lot being on social media. I'm learning how to conduct myself as a human being, as a young lady. Like I said, I don't always get it right. Sometimes I allow my irritation to get the best of me because I'm like, I'm not on that type of time, so leave me the hell alone, that kind of thing. But again, I'm not responsible for other people. I'm only responsible for me. So at the end of the day, I have to take accountability for what I respond to and how I respond. See, there's a difference between responding and reacting. Reacting is meaning, hey, I'm be impulsive. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna cuss you out because you done pissed me off. You done made me real mad. You know what I'm saying? So that's reacting. Responding is keeping your emotions under control and not always like how you would react, maybe cussing them out. Responding would maybe not responding at all, you know, or if you're going to respond, it be in a way that they least expect you to respond. And so reactive is, it very impulsive. You're just going with your emotions at the time. Responding is I had some time to think about it and I'm gonna do it total opposite than how you think I'm gonna do it. And I'm respond in the way that that helps me to look good, and helps you to look like a fool. So well, some people don't need help with that. But that's the difference to me with responding and reacting. And I have reacted in a lot of ways. And sometimes when you react to take up for yourself, you start telling your business and other stuff that you should have just left it alone. And that's why I said when you get upset, I have to tell myself that when I get upset, don't say everything. Don't put everything out there because you're dealing with a total different beast out here of people. People that don't have any they don't have any social skills. Some of these people that's on the internet are very dangerous because they don't have a social life other than being on social media. And being, on social media, excuse me, you can be anybody you want to be, where in real life they're really a punk. Um, and but on social media, they're the big bad wolf. So you have to understand that a lot of times when people come on here, they're already mentally ill, or they have some type of disorder or some type of social inadequacies that they don't know how to deal with people. And I when I came here, I said these people kind of different, and the men are different on here too, because the men that I'm used to dealing with, like family, friends, and men that I dated and stuff. I said, I mean, I know we all have emotions as human beings, but a lot of these men on here are very overly emotional and very vindictive and very petty, like women. So I'm not sure what's that about. Thank you so much, Tay. Um, how you clap back queen? How you doing? Clap back queen. Um, they're very vindictive on here, and you don't know what these people you don't know where they come from. So I know because I was telling showing somebody something. It was a friend of mine, and they said that's a man sounding like that. I said, yeah, it's a man. He was like, my God, kind of she like I wasn't raised around people like I said, me neither. So when I came to social media, I learned a lot of new things, and some things were just really scary. I felt like I was in a twilight zone kind of thing. But hey Russell, how are you? You said, what's up, baby mama? How you doing tonight? I'll be back home real soon. Wait to hang out. Oh Lord. Thank you so much. Tanya and Russell. You said clapback queen is a crazy name. Oh, you said you don't know how to take that. I'm okay, clapback queen. But yeah, I hope you were doing well. I hope everybody's doing well in here. But anyway, like I said, you know me, I can go down another subject. So let me stay focused because I'll get off. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the things. Like when people go on these when they go on these platforms, just be careful about what you share. Make sure it's some stuff that you wouldn't mind, being repeated. And if when Mad Day come and they turn it against you, just make sure that you're gonna be okay with it, because that's what's gonna happen. You're not every people on here are not really um they're not really sane, and then if they are, they're so vindictive and mean spirited. It's not going to end up good for you. So I would say to anybody, whether you are dealing with people in your real life or even on social media, be careful who you tell your business to. Be careful who you share your vulnerabilities with, and understand when you share your vulnerabilities on a social media platform, a public forum, you will be criticized. You will be talked about. It will and it can be used against you. So get ready for it. Don't cry. Just understand where you are and understand that your actions have something to do with why it is the way it is. And that's why now I don't do no talking behind the scenes. If I ain't already been talking to you, I will not be. And I don't mean no harm. It's some people that I think maybe are cool people, from what I know of. But at the end of the day, I can never be stupid and naive again to think that everybody is cool, because it's not that way. And it's unfortunate because I don't want to be a mean person. A lot of times people have put jackets on me that I was, sedity, or I was kind of snobbish, or, too quiet or bougie, just because I wasn't friendly. So then when I started being friendly, and then when I seen where friendly got me, it's okay to be nice to people, but to me, you got to have your boundaries, and you got to use some common sense. You can't just go in there just trying to be so friendly, you forget to have common sense, because again, it would always come back to bite you at the end. Okay, you said Yes, be safe. Lots of crazies on here. You ain't lying. They can accuse you of lying about your business just to bait you into telling your business, and it just be about right. And I have did that too. And I said, now I just played into the game. I just played into the trap. You said, you said after, but I've been on here, I feel the same way. I can't take you better not, Juicy. I'm telling you, you're gonna hit yourself in the head over and over again because you're like, that was dumb. Why did I just do that? And some things is just dumb. Like if you know that even though you a nice loving person, everybody not going to have your same heart or your attentions as you do. So you got to just guard your heart and make sure that you understand what kind of where you are, what people you dealing with. You can't it's unfortunate you can't just be free with being so loving sometimes. Sometimes you just have to be very cautious of it. Who you give it to. You say exactly. I messed up in the experience. Why? Right. It's a dirty game. Hey, Devon, how are you? Hey, 219. How are you? Happy New Year to you guys. So right, clapback queen. You it's like how many times you gonna be stupid? You know, how many times are you gonna put your vulnerabilities out there just for people to turn it against you? How many times? Hey Russell, you said, child, I ain't dropping no number, no bad chat. Shoot, no, no. I learned the hard way. Trying to be nice and not thinking too much of stuff. That's another problem. When you don't think too much of anything and you just, oh, it's just fun. Oh, you just going around in la la land. Like you just, you better watch what you're doing and who you give your number to. I said now I will not ever like I said, if I already been talking to you, not giving you my number. Like we not doing it. I'm not doing none of that. And I had to learn the hard way. So in some of these snakes I gave my number to, I wasn't trying to get with them none. We were just talking about YouTube stuff. And that was the biggest mistake I could have ever made. Some big old snakes, anacondas, and vipers that you'll meet. And you just make sure you're not one of them. You said, it is sad. You said, I show love to everyone, but I am vulnerable to no. Right. Okay. So you can show compassion, yeah, compassion and love to people, but you still like what you're saying, you still have to have boundaries and not be get rid of the naivety to think that everyone is for you. That's I would say the lesson that I've learned. You said, notice I've never asked. No, because like I said, I'm not talking about you, but in general, hey Myra, I don't ask people for their number, and don't don't ask me. Um, like I said, if I get to know people, it's for a certain reason. And it's not on no vindictive stuff or anything like that. It's maybe you were from the same state or whatever. But even then, you still can't deal with people even if they're from your same state sometimes. You don't know what type of time they on, and some people seem like they nice and cool, but they're far from it. You said my own ex leaked pictures of my children and had these people mocking and dog walking my babies. Wow, that's crazy. And people will do that. You'll be so cool with somebody. People will do you like as if they never was cool with you, like they never talked to you on the phone. And this is what really pisses me off. And that's why I said no longer sharing my number with people. I stopped doing that um 2 years ago. Um because even the people that you give your number to, instead of them having a conversation like a woman or a man and a woman or whatever, or a man and a man, whatever, and you have their number and you can't pick up the phone and air out your grievances or your situation or how you feel, but go on social media platform and try to blast everything that you have talked about behind the scenes. Them, I want to say something, but this year I am working on my tongue. But them are some real snakes that do stuff like that. And they had attentions all along to be exactly how they are. So don't be surprised when people do that seem like they cool with you and you've shared things and you talked on the phone, or maybe you even encouraged them, prayed with them or whatever. Y'all became real cool. Then mad day happened and then here they go. Well, hey, don't be surprised because we are dealing with different types of people out here. And some people, they don't have no loyalty. They have no type of, how can I say, they just don't have, to me, any type of heart or um compassion. They're just not good people. You know what I'm saying? They're just not people that's trying to be decent. If you got a problem with me and I got your number, instead of you going online trying to air out what we talked about and then have panels about the same person that you was just cool with a couple of months ago, that you had no problem with, that you was bigging each other up, and you go on a social media platform telling everything, adding to stuff that you didn't say. That is really a snake of a person. Now you have never, as long as I don't know. Now I'm asking you guys, have y'all ever had me to come on here and talk about what's I have talked, even if me and that person fell out? Sometimes I fall out with a couple of people y'all won't ever know because I don't bring it to this platform. I don't say their name. I try not to even talk about the situation. And you have no idea. I just move differently, and and I just avoid them, block them or whatever. I don't fool with them no more. But I've never brought what I've talked to another person behind the scene. I've never brought that online. I never told people we talked about this, we talked about that, and then lie on them too while I'm adding to that. Because it's a lot of times people have said things about me. I'm like, I didn't even say that. What the hell are they talking about? Like, were they in the same conversation that I was in? Because that's not what I said. And I'm pretty direct on what I'm saying. If I'm addressing something with a person, we talking on the phone, I'm gonna let you know exactly what I said. I don't, and if I said it, I said it. And what? So it's just really amazing to me how people turn things against you. And that's why I said you have to be very cautious of who you talk to behind the scenes and make sure that whatever you share, because when mad day happen and you find a person that has that same type of snake spirit that will tell and add on to stuff that you didn't say, just know it's going to be used against you. That's why I suggest that you have uh, a social life outside of YouTube. Because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself in some mess. Because you can't touch people, you can't even, reach out and, like I said, reach out and touch them. Some of these people live way on the other side of the states, maybe a country. You can't get to these folks, and it's not like you're gonna waste some money to go up there to have a fight with them. And even if you lived in the same state, you hope that you don't run into them because you don't know how you react. I know how I would, because some days I'm like, please, Lord, don't ever let me see that person because I don't know how I'll react. I don't know if I will react or respond. And more than likely, I don't know. So I'm still working work in progress, okay? So I'm just gonna say I don't know, but hopefully I don't, cuz I don't know how I'll respond or react. Um but yeah, just be careful. Um and love yourself. Right. I'm a lone wolf too. And I understand why people are to themselves. They don't want to be bothered. you said if most of the conversations you had with someone is about someone else, they probably talking about, right, Taryn. They probably talking about you and then act like they laughing, laughing. Um, to be honest with you, I wouldn't talk about somebody I'm cool with. The only thing I would be talking about is maybe somebody I'm like, am I tripping or is this person A, B, and C? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll just be like, you, I don't understand why this person did this and why they did that, you know. And some people will take that and run with it and be like, "Oh, she a snake. She talking about that person." But I'm like, "No, I'm just giving my opinion on what I see." But I mean, I can't repeat whatever I said, but it's just the fact that if I'm talking to you, why are you going back and telling the whole world like that? That's just some. Oh Lord, I am working on my tongue, like y'all. Just work with me. You say it's a lot of adults with right kids mindset. Some of these people are professionals. Some of them got good jobs, and I'm saying y'all act like this on the internet, and then how do y'all act in real life, or do y'all know how to separate that? See who I am, it goes with me everywhere. I just learned to tweak little things, especially when I'm in front of, you know, professionals on working with, you know, in my professional whatever. I know how to turn it on and off, but I'm still me at the end of the day. I'm not a total different person. But I wonder, do these people that act like this online in their home life and their professional life, like, are they different? Are they the same? Because if they're the same, it's scary, and if they're different, that's scary too, because it's like a jackal and hyde kind of thing, or a joker. Like, yeah, I don't understand it, the dynamic of it. You said the internet is a platform for people who can embarrass each other. Yeah, right, most childish, right. He said, yeah, I try not to talk about anyone on here and IRL. But if I have something to say, I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? And but like I said, I know now the people that I talk to, they not on that kind of, you know, on that type of time, but they see stuff too, and they might say something or whatever. And I say something, I'm like, well, if it's said, I don't think it will be because they're not like that from what I can see. But if it was to be repeated, I say I sure did say it. And what you gonna do? So that's where I am right now with that. But right, SBK. And so, but that's kind of what it is right now. I'm just learning to just be very cautious and and as they say, keep it simple, stupid. Don't do nothing that I will regret. And whatever I say, stand on it and watch my circle. And don't be so stupid and get on these platforms spewing my business and then crying about it later. Okay, thank you, Russell. You said they're always talking about me sending donations, especially to you, baby mama. They don't like it because I'm looking out for and not them. Check the back chat. Well, you know, I don't say nothing about people that let me just be quiet because I end up getting some more drama and beef and it don't got nothing to do with me. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep that to myself. But you know, I don't care. Listen, I believe some female content creators are not getting enough. You gotta sit up here and wear Daisy Dukes and make some bacon and eggs just to, I guess, to get those donations or whatever. And like I said, men content creators, they get a lot of money, hundreds of dollars thrown at them. So they better not be worried about you spending $5 or $10 over here. Shoot, don't have me saying nothing because I'm trying to keep it cute and keep it mute. So they better go on somewhere with that. Because listen, whatever you get on here, just be thankful. You know, I'm thankful for if I get $2, $5, 10 or whatever. You know, because a lot of women content creators I see out here, they don't get funds like that, you know. These women, they be supporting these men, honey, and hey, it is what it is. They're blessed in their way, and I'm blessed in my way. And when I really look at it, I am here for the extra money. I'm not gonna lie to you, but again, I do want to use the gifts that God has given me. And if there is something that I can say to inform, to encourage someone, that's what I want to do. I don't want to just be up here blowing hot air. And also, I want to learn by what I'm saying, because I notice a lot of the times people speak about things, but they're not really trying to be what they're speaking about. And even when people try to pull, well, you supposed to be a Christian, all that BS. Listen, just because I'm trying to be a better person and I believe in a certain thing, I have flaws and shortcomings just like you do. And sometimes the same people that say that, they have a lot more than another person, but they're always trying to point out what you supposed to be, what you supposed to be, who you supposed to be. Quit worrying about what I'm supposed to be. I know what I'm supposed to be. Worry about you. And that's why I always put the mirror back in another person's face. Because I'm like, why you sitting up there pointing and trying to look at the speck in my eye? You need to get out your own. Worry about me. Worry about you. Yeah, yeah, go on somewhere. Yeah, always trying to judge other people, and then want to say you ain't supposed to be judged. You ain't supposed to judge, but you judging me though. Like, what kind of sense does that make? I'm talking about people that think they got a high IQ and they just as low as it want to be. Like, you can't hold me accountable for nothing. I'm not living for you. Okay, I'm not living for anyone on this internet but me. Okay. So don't try to hold me to your standard of what you think a Christian should act like. You need to work on yourself and let me work on myself. Okay. So, like I said, in my, what was it I did today? My little short. You don't know what people have been through. You don't know what people are going through. So don't be judging people by how they look or how they seem to be at that moment, because it could be your moment, it could be your time where people could be judging you, and they don't even know what you've been through. They don't even know what you're going through currently. See, a lot of people are going through some really tumultuous times. Some people, it's this guy at my church, he lost family members. It was a group of family members in his car. They in their car, they got killed in a car wreck. And he has to deal with that over the holiday, his family being killed in a car wreck. People are going through some hard times. So you judging people by a moment, by a mistake that they made at that time. My moment may have been when I cussed this person out that kept messing with me, but that's not who I am. See, and that's what's wrong with people. They want to judge people on a moment. You want to judge people what you perceive to be, but you don't know what people are going through, and you don't know what people are dealing with. And I hate when you're irritated with someone, they say, oh, well, she got anger issues. No, I'm just sick of you messing with me. I'm just sick of you bringing me into bullshit. That's what I'm sick of. I don't have an anger problem. I may have a little temper every time now and then, but I get real irritated when people just don't know how to go on and move around. That irritates me. I always say, if a person ain't messing with you, don't mess with them. Let it be. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Clara. Yeah, let it be. Let it be. Like, just go on about your business, man or woman, whatever. This is 2026 and people still gonna be on that demon time. And that's why I tell people, when you got these people, these lonely men and women get up there, and some of these people say they married, and they are some of the most loneliest people. I've never seen so many lonely men and women and people in relationships that just tell a business. I'm like, oh my God, but they're lonely and they're really spreading themselves business on these apps, and they're telling their business, and then they want to know why people talking about them. Well, you got to understand where you are. You got to understand who you dealing with. You got to understand the who, why. Was the who, why, and and how the whatever you need to understand what's going on around you, who you dealing with. So when I understood that, I'm learning how to move differently. But like I said, it takes time. It takes time for people to get there. For some of us, and some people, some people are just stuck on stupid, and they don't understand that you are the problem. you keep you keep trusting people. You keep putting yourself out here, and you be on a panel for 10 hours talking about I don't know what, and telling everybody what they going through and who they done slept with. Ah, that is just too much. So I was just like, nah, these some different type of people. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's the pandemic that kind of screwed. Like I said, it really messed up a lot of our social activities at that time. So it really messed us up. But I think I'm like, we out of the pandemic now. Y'all can branch out and get a life outside of YouTube. It will benefit you to have a life. So yeah, get your butt on out and do stuff. Meet some different type of people that's not, you find out they not nuts. You get to know people, and those that are nuts, you leave them alone too. Jim. Hey, Natron. Happy New Year. So anyway, I don't want to hold y'all up because I can talk. But I will talk to you guys later. I don't know when I'm going live. I'm going back to work. Unfortunately, unfortunately, back to the plantation. So I will try to fit a live in. But yeah, I'm going back on Tuesday. Shit. Some people going back Monday, but I'm going back Tuesday. So yeah, I'm taking another day off. Shoot. And them kids ain't coming back to Wednesday anyway. I'm like, why can't we just come back? Just this dumb meetings you gotta go through. That's just dumb to me. But anyway, I love you guys to Reese's Pieces. Thank you for the donations. I think I got some a membership. I appreciate that. Thank you, Russell. I really appreciate you. One thing I say about Russell, he will throw you something because man, you be talking up here uh for an hour or two, honey. You won't get now $1. So shout out to Russell. Hey CX. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. You guys be good. Thank you so much for coming through, Juicy. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody that came in the chat. And if you are not a subscriber, I hope that you will subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'm here to uplift, to encourage, to inform. And I will go back to the StreamYard where I will have open panels. I'm just waiting a little bit. Number one, I don't even know if I really want to pay for a StreamYard because StreamYard is to me ridiculous. Um, so I don't know what's going. I'm a kind of debate on that and see if they can give me a lower price. And I'm like, these people got to be out of their mind. I'm like, this is another bill. So anyway, I'm gonna be doing some open panels where I can have people to come up and actually, join my panel and do the Selena couch like I did before, the therapy session. Well, I'm not, look, I don't want you to tell me all your business, nothing that you can't, you don't want to share because I wouldn't, and I'll probably stop you because I really don't like when people use people's, like what they've been through and use it as content. I think that is just really um, it's just really how can I say this? It's disgusting to me. It really is using what people have gone through and using it as content. Like it's just disgusting. But we are living in a world where it's like a lot of disgusting people that that don't care. So I don't want to do that to people because I don't want nobody doing that to me. And one thing, if I haven't, I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I promise you, I'm gonna get off. Um, I had my mother's first cousin. just passed. She was 86 years old. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in the summer, I interviewed my cousin who was a judge, who is a judge in Austin, Texas. And it was her mother that just passed. And she was 86 years old. And the life that she lived life to the fullest. When they were little children, she took them to Paris, and she went to a fabric place in Paris, and she made their, dress out of that fabric. And they were talking about how they still have them today, those dresses, that because she had three girls, and she would travel all around the world. Now she was 86 years old. So back then, in the 50s and 60s, black people didn't do most black people didn't know anything about an airplane. But she was working at American Airlines, and she traveled, and that's how she was able to travel with get her family and things of that nature. And I just live and I think about the life that she lived, and for me knowing her, um, I always had a sweet spirit, but she lived life to the fullest. And when people were at her funeral, people were talking about all the things, she wasn't one of those people that were so eloquent in her speech, and she knew all the right words to say, but she was very intelligent in her own way, and she knew how to treat people. And when you heard all the beautiful things that a lot of these people said about her, and I can remember her presence always being sweet, never had a negative word, always being encouraging and positive, even though things didn't look so positive. She was always encouraging, always supportive of her family. And I think about how she lived her life. And I said, you know what? She, amongst others and my family, inspired me to be a decent person. Like, I'm not gonna be perfect, and I'm not gonna get it all right all the time. And I might say some words that later on I'll probably be like, I probably shouldn't have said it that way, but I did. Um, but it encouraged me, and it also inspired me that life is what you make it. And make sure that when it's your time to go, number one, that you at peace with your creator, but also that you had a hand in helping somebody else. And one thing I learned about her, she didn't have to uh be a great speaker or anything. She tried to help people when she could, and it made an impact on these people's lives, even in her family. And that is the life that I aspire to be. I aspire to be a decent person, not perfect. I aspire to be a decent person, a person that tries to treat people like I want to be treated for the most part. Now, I won't always be successful, and Imma say that again. I will not always be successful. I'm just not. But because I'm living in the world, and sometimes I just wanna do what I wanna do because somebody done pissed me off. But I hope that at one point in my life that I will mature even more, that a lot of stuff just won't bother me. Have you ever noticed why some older people are not really bothered, or when some people get older, they don't really care what people be talking about. They just go on, and they're like, I ain't got time, I ain't got time. And that's why I want to be. I want to be where to the point where it be like water off a duck's back. Cause a lot of older people I know, they ain't got time for foolishness. And if you bringing it, they gone. And that's exactly how I want to be. I don't want anyone to change the sweet person that I know I am. So that's one thing I learned yesterday. And I said I aspire to be like that, and I hope God give me the years like like her. She, like I said, she lived 86 years. One of my grandmothers lived 102. The other one lived 82. My grandfather 85. I got people in 90s. I have a great aunt now in her 90s. So I ask them questions, because sometimes I'm like, how did you deal with this? How did you get through this? And some of these people, old people, they're very wise. Now the ones that I have experienced on here, not so much. And really, I have never met old people like I have on here. So I don't know what type of old people. I call them new age. They trying to be something that they're not. They're trying to be young when they're not. But I'm talking about those real old people that got wisdom that you can talk to and get insight from on how they made it to where they are. Cause I don't care what nobody say. Uh Older people know a lot and they know some things that can help you. Sometimes they stuck in their ways and some stuff you're like, okay, granny or papa, damn, that's not right. But a lot of times they do have a lot of wisdom if you just listen. So I don't know how to drop the link on here. And then when I did, it didn't go through. Don't let nobody. I know it. Yeah, for 474. No, I ain't gonna let nobody bully me. But at the end of the day, you have to learn how to respond rather than react. And I explained that earlier about reacting because I can react. I can go from 10 to 100 real quick because some stuff just don't make sense to me. And I'm like, you get on my damn nerves. But then there's also a respond where I can respond, but my response is going to take me a while to kind of do that because I want to make sure that I'm doing it in a way that I will be pleased, and that if my nieces and my nephews or if my future children see it, they won't be ashamed that mama on here acting a fool. Okay. So I got to remember that too, because I got generation coming after me, and I got a whole bunch of little cousins and stuff that not watch now, I hope not, but that will maybe run into this. And I want to be able that I won't do too many things that would be embarrassing. I'll just say that because I know I have done some things. I'm like, yikes, But you said I'm trying to give you some old man wisdom. Bye, Russell. I got some wisdom for you. You put them teeth in your mouth and hush. That's my wisdom to you, Russell. All right. Well, I'm finna get off of here. I hope everybody is blessed. And shout out to everybody that came through and showed some love. Like I said, I appreciate you. And make sure you press the button twice. I appreciate it if you do that. And if you're not a member, like I said, please subscribe. And hopefully I will say something or, that will encourage you to keep going and not to give up because I know it's hard out here. We sometimes want to give up, but keep going, keep staying focused. Just know you're not alone. Somebody's going through something just like you or worse. So don't give up on yourself. You're here for a reason. As long as you have breath in your body, you're here for a reason. So don't give up on it. Guys, be good and be great. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you to Reese's Pieces. Bye.